Hey guys, this is Rishi Chulani from The Dark Knot, and today I want to talk to you about the perfect fitting bespoke suit. Now we all know that a bespoke suit is all about that elusive, perfect fit. You've taken the plunge and you spent a lot of money on that bespoke suit. And the most important consideration once you have your bespoke suit is how it fits you. So with that said, let's get into considerations for how your bespoke suit should fit you. Now the first thing you want to look for when you are trying on your bespoke suit, either your fitting or the final version, is to see how it fits along your shoulders. Now how your suit fits along your shoulders is largely going to dictate how the rest of your suit flows, obviously especially your jacket. Now you want your shoulder seams to be placed flatly across your shoulders. That is of critical importance. If your shoulder seams are not against your shoulders either going to push back or forward against it. So you need your shoulder seams to lay flat across your shoulders. Now a second consideration with your shoulder fit that's extremely important and is often overlooked are divots in your shoulders. Now, contrary to popular belief, divots are not arising from wearing an oversized suit like Shaq or Charles Barkley would wear. A divot arises when your armholes are not cut in proper proportion to the sleeve length of your jacket. So for example, if some people naturally have a higher armhole and the armhole for the suit jacket, which is around here, has been cut highly, but the sleeve length hasn't been tapered accordingly or adjusted in size accordingly, you're going to have the tighter armhole pulling against the sleeve length, which is what would cause this divot, which is essentially a dent or a dimple in the side of your jacket, and that sort of throws off the look of the bespoke suit. So like I said, first consideration, you want your shoulder seams to lay flat across your shoulders and you want to avoid that divot. Now the second thing you want to look for in your bespoke suit is how it closes. Now when you're standing up, right now I'm sitting down, but when you're standing up, you want to be able to button your suit jacket cleanly without any sort of creases forming in the jacket. What essentially happens with a lot of guys when they buy a suit and it hasn't been customized properly in terms of sizing is that the fabric tends to crease around the suit buttons and you see this X shape where the crease is taking place, and that's when you know the jacket is essentially too tight. Another telltale sign that your jacket is too tight is that you're going to see a horizontal crease along the back of your jacket. If you see a vertical crease, it means that the jacket is most likely too loose. So those are things you really want to look for in terms of how your jacket is fitting around your torso. You also want to ensure that your lapels over here are laying flat across your chest. If they're too puffed out, that means your jacket regarding your chest measurement and your collar measurement has been thrown off. Now the third thing you want to look for with how your bespoke suit jacket should fit is the length of your jacket. Now what you want to do is stand straight, and with your arms by your side, you want to see if the bottom of the jacket hits the knuckle of your thumb. That's roughly where the jacket should be. Now back in the day, people used to have slightly longer jackets and jackets used to be longer, so they would hit maybe halfway through their palm, but now it's about the bottom of your thumb knuckle. Now guys are starting to wear clothes that are more and more tapered, and so you're gonna see some retailers, say you're even buying off the rack, that are gonna sell suits that are literally cut above the bottom of your butt line, and you do not want that. So always CYA, cover your ass. You want your suit jacket to cover the bottom of your buttocks. That's going to look professional, and it's something that is going to stick around. If something is cut higher than that, it's probably a seasonal fad. You don't know how long it's going to last, and it'll probably look inappropriate, especially in more formal settings like an interview or a wedding. Now the fourth thing that you want to take into consideration is your jacket sleeve length. Now your jacket sleeve length is going to be deemed appropriate if your shirt sleeve length is cut the right length in the first place. So the first thing you need to do when you have your bespoke suits is when you're getting your shirts made, whether they're off the rack or they're a bespoke shirt, is you want your shirt to touch just past the start of your palm. Once you have that length correctly, taken into consideration, you want your suit jacket to be maybe 1/4 to a 1/2 inch shorter than that. That allows your shirt cuff to be exposed by 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, and it looks extremely professional. Another factor to look for to see if your suit jacket sleeve length is of the appropriate length is to see that it falls nice and flat without creasing up. Now the fifth and final consideration for your suit jacket that you want to take into account is how your collar fits. Now your collar, like your shirt, should be laying flat against your collar the way your shirt collar would lay against your neck. If your collar has an unsightly gap, it's going to be a reflection of your chest measurements or your neck measurements being out of whack. And another thing that needs to be taken into consideration is your natural posture. So if you are a guy that generally leans forward a bit, you know, when you're standing in your suit, there's going to be a gap between your neck and your suit collar, and so you need all these considerations taken into account. A good bespoke tailor is going to look at your natural posture, you know, and the curvature of your back and things like that to make sure that your jacket fits around your torso and fits around your neck perfectly, around your shoulders, right? All those things are important. It's not just about the measurements, it's about your natural posture. It's about other smaller factors as well, like whether you're a presenter, you stand on stage, you know, you need a little more space, maybe you need a lower armhole because you're a presenter or an entertainer, so you're flailing your arms about. All these considerations have to be taken into account with regard to your suit jacket. Now on to the suit pants. Now, the first thing you want to look for in your pants is that they fit well around your waist and that they're not going to fall without a belt on. So your pants should fit snugly around your waist. It's very important. Which leads me to the pant rise. So what is rise? Rise refers to the space between the inseam on your crotch all the way up to your natural waistline. Now, if you are a taller guy, that's going to be a longer distance. It's going to be a higher rise. If you're a shorter guy, generally going to be a shorter distance. It's going to be a shorter rise. What this means is if you're a taller guy and you're getting a pair of pants, you want to wear your pants along your natural waistline, because where you wear your pants dictates your perceived waistline. And you generally want your perceived waistline to be at your natural waistline. So what that would necessitate is getting pants with a higher rise so that they fit comfortably and it's not bunching up. Similarly, if you're a shorter guy, you want shorter rise, because if you are a shorter guy and you have regular rise, that means you're going to have excess fabric down there and you don't want that. So you need to make sure that the rise of your pants is proportionate to your height. So again, taller guy, generally longer rise, assuming your body proportions are, you know, uniform, and a shorter guy is going to have a shorter rise. Now the second thing you want to look for in your pant measurement is to see how they taper. Now more classically cut suits will have pants that taper relatively little and they come down flat, whereas, you know, the modern bespoke suit is all about a tapered look. So it's up to you to choose whether you want something that's less streamlined or something that's more streamlined and tapers in nicely. Again, that depends on how tight of a look you want to go for and whether you want something that's body hugging or a more English cut that's narrow but not too narrow like an Italian cut, or you could go for the American cut from the 80s and 90s and go with something that's very boxy, which I would highly recommend against. And the final thing we want to look for in a pant measurement is how it falls on your shoes. Now this refers to the break of your pants. Now an ill-fitting pant or a pant that's too long or not worn across your natural waistline is going to have a full break, which means you're going to have a lot of fabric bunching up near your shoes. What you ideally want is a quarter break, which is a very small amount of fabric bunching up around your shoes, or no break to go for that really streamlined look. Now of course certain considerations are going to come into play. If you're a shorter guy, you generally want no break because you're creating a horizontal line in your look. It's going to make you look shorter if you have a half or a full break. Whereas if you're a taller guy, you can get away with a bit of a break. But generally, the less the break or no break, the better off you're gonna look. So those are the considerations for how a bespoke suit should fit. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I'm Rishi Chulani from The Dark Knot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to point to our family bespoke tailoring website below, in the link below, because I come from a family of bespoke tailors and they visit the US about 2 to 3 times a year extensively. And so you could see what services they have to offer. Additionally, I'll be linking to the Dark Knot, where we sell a wide range of ties and accessories that all come with recommendations for matching suits and shirts. So you can take that bespoke suit you buy next, pair it up with one of our gorgeous accessories, and you'll be the best dressed guy in the room. Once again, it's Rishi Chulani from the Dark Knot, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.